Now you think a movie that was entitled Trick or Treat would have a lot of trick-or-treating in it. But Trick or Treat has no trick-or-treating in it. If that's not enough trick-or-treats, there's maybe one or two tricks and one or two treats in this movie. Now the story of Trick or Treat is a young boy named Ragman, and no, he has nothing to do with the awesome comic book character, is kind of a metalhead in school. He likes to listen to a rock band and gets razzed by the other kids at school because of it. Unfortunately for young Ragman, his rock star dies at the young age of 38 in a devastating hotel fire.
Dead at age 38.
While he's grieving, he visits the local DJ named Newt, who is played by Gene Simmons, who tells him that he has a one-of-a-kind record produced by the late Sammy Kerr, and he plans on playing this at Halloween. He has made a copy of this tape, however, and he gives the kid the one-of-a-kind original record. The kid goes home and listens to the record and slowly drifts off to sleep, where he finds himself in a flashback showing Sammy Kerr doing some kind of religious voodoo magic, which unfortunately at this point has no significance. When the kid wakes up from the dream, he finds out that his record is acting all wonky, and wouldn't you know it, has the brilliant idea to spin the record backwards, thus finding a hidden message from the late Sammy Kerr. The message tells him that his motivation is revenge, and that he is going to help Ragman take revenge on the kids who have recently embarrassed him at a pool party. When he gets up the strength to confront the bullies, he gets away with it and thanks the record, and believes that the record is bestowing upon him some kind of revenge, spell. This leads up to a second confrontation with the bullies, where they chase him to what is, I think, one of the funniest Looney Tune moments, when one of the bullies slips on a pail of water, and you can clearly see that there's no water on the floor. However, this leads to a third confrontation with the bullies in the shop's warehouse. One of the bullies gets his tie caught, and wouldn't you know it, his friend can't come to save him because of some sparks, and at the last moment, Ragman prevents him from having his eye gouged out. Unfortunately, this does not please the bully, for he still gives him a quick threat as he leaves the workshop. This prompts Ragman into a show of peace, and makes a dub tape of the late Sammy Kerr's tape, and gives it to the douchebag. In the next scene, you find your first glimpse of what Sammy Kerr can manifest himself as. As the bully makes out with his girlfriend, he goes to take a whiz. At this point, she throws on her tape, because you can't go a minute without entertainment, and starts listening to the Sammy Kerr tape. It slowly undresses her into a surprising erotic scene, and wouldn't you know it, a monster shows up to ruin the whole thing, and it burns her ears off. This is where you get to see the first incarnation of what Sammy Kerr looks like. In the very next scene, you get to see Ozzy Osbourne's cameo, playing a religious priest. I don't know what to say about this scene. Just wow. So he goes home and starts pleading with the record not to hurt any more kids. But the record starts getting out of control, and wouldn't you know it, manifests himself into some kind of electrical being. He makes Ragman's friend take the tape to the ball, the school dance, and play it over the loudspeaker, giving him the power to transfer over there. This leads to the rock star taking over the main lead of the band, which actually is surprisingly a great scene. This is a one-of-a-time rock horror show. Unfortunately, the Rock is good, but then he starts killing everybody. After this point, you get a couple run-ins with the bad guy just to spruce him up a little bit, all capped off by our bad guy, Sammy Kerr, getting almost sucked down a toilet, and finally defeated as Ragman drives a car off a cliff, and the heroine Leslie, who he's been after the whole time, destroys the tape at the radio station. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, I suggest going to check it out. It was suggested by a fan, so I checked it out. I was not disappointed. And if you're a rock fan, this is definitely a Halloween-themed movie worth going to check out. So, this is your good MD saying, Let's rock.